continuing with our paint with three colors sequence. Our three colors now are Cobalt Blue, which I'm going to put out here, and Yellow Ochre and Burnt Sienna. So Yellow Ochre, Burnt Sienna. Now this little painting is all about the bogs of Ireland and people who cut turf. So it's a very simple little painting, a very quick little painting, and one that a lot of you will be able to achieve first go. So we start off, I'm taking my hake brush, and I'm using two brushes for this for the simple reason just to give us a little bit more time to get it done fairly quickly. So I'm not going to go all the way down this time, I'm just going to go just under halfway there, and I'm going to very quickly put the sky in. So the sky is, I'm just taking the Cobalt Blue, and all I'm doing is quickly, I like to get across the top there as quick as I can, and then just take a little bit more colour. I'm going to blend that down through so you have a nice summer's day. That Cobalt Blue makes nice bright tones. Just bring it right down here like that. And I'm going to lift my paper and I'm going to let it run. You never know what's going to happen with this. It just does its own thing, which is great. And you have that total spontaneity with it, so you just never know. And that's what makes it all the more exciting, just to know what it's going to do. I'm just moving the paint around, and then I'm going to add just a little tone of the burnt sienna, and I'm going to bring that into the cobalt. That's going to give me a darker tone, and it's going to take that blueness out of the blue. So I'm just going to add that in here and there like this. Just little tones like that, little circles. And that's just going to create almost like a cloudy day, like a dark cloud. Could be a bit of rain coming in the distance. So I'm just going to add that into it there. Now, while that's doing that, setting up nicely, I'm going to speed it up now, and I'm going to bring my dryer in. Okay, our sky is dry, so I'm just going to apply now a distant mountain using the Cobalt Blue and a little touch of the Burnt Sienna. And I'm trying to achieve a tone of no blue visible and none of the browny red color visible either. So what you're going to get is like a tone of gray. So this is going to be our distant mountain. So I'm putting it in straight like this, right in there like that, and then you bring the brush straight back like this, and it's that easy. So one brush stroke that way and one brush stroke coming back that way. Now what happens is you occasionally get little splatters like this. That's okay. You can turn them into birds, or you can rise your mountain just like that, cover them up. So they're gone now. So that's nice, fresh, clean, distant mountain. So next step is I'm going to now add clean yellow ochre. This is coming across here. Yellow ochre all the way. Straight in like that. You don't have to come down all to the bottom. As I said, this is a nice little painting. You just take your time. You can fade it out like that. There. Now, to complement this here, I'm going to add just a touch of the burnt sienna on its own. And what that'll do, it'll bring up the yellow ochre into another tone with it. So I'm just going to bring that up there, like this, and then add in a bit more. Just giving it kind of a heather bog look. Just go another little bit. Step here. Just want to darken that slightly because I want to put my couple of people here on the bog working away over there. On that high ground. I'm going to just dry that off. Now I'm going to add some ultramarine and the burnt sienna again, and this is going to give me a dark tone. And I'm going to apply these dark tones just so that it looks like grasses, heathers, stuff like that. So just here and there, just give it a little lift like this with your cake brush. Again, a little bit over here. And just as you tap them up there, you get little tufts of grass like this. Now you can add in a little bit more burnt sienna into that. And just change the color. Again, once you know you can do this, the hardest thing to do is to stop doing it, because you realize then you could just end up with a mess. So less is more. So you just be very careful and just sort of be very disciplined on what you're doing. And as you come closer, you just make your tufts of grass or grass taller. So again, just by lightly placing the brush on the painting, you get tufts of grass. And as I said, less is more. So I'm now changing the brush, taking a little bit more of the cobalt and the burnt sienna. And what I'm going to do now, I'm putting in like rocks and stones and things like that. So it's little bits here and there. I'm going to put just here and there, all over. And then we're going to dry this off. And then I'm going to focus my attention then on putting in the people and the turf. I'm going to quickly just dry this so that I don't, when I go over the top of it, that I don't mess it up. Now again, I'm going to keep putting in a few more little rocks. Keep this sequence going. I want to try and put in some, it's like turf. You're just giving the impression of turf, so it's like a little mound. So I'm just going to come up here with this. Down on the hill. And get a little man in here now. my glasses on. So he's there to show. Change to my rigger. A thin line coming through here. Just pushing this through. And let's put somebody else just here. And you don't really have to put in an awful lot of detail, just enough. You just take a larger detail brush, just put a few little bits and pieces. If you're not too sure about the feet, just cover them up. Put them standing behind the mound rather than in front. Just spread it out a little bit there. And I'll put in a bit more like this. And I want to take my rigger then, and I just want to add in some grasses to the front. So you want a very wet brush here, like this, and just flick them over like this. Just gives it a nice look to it. And as I said, you hold the brush up here like this. So it's a great brush for doing trees, twigs, all of that, but it's also for grasses, and you can bring grasses in from the side that you can't see. It's almost like it's folding over like this. And then you can take your cake brush just to ground them all in. This. Ground them all into the painting. Just make it look like they should be there. I'm going to finish. I'm looking at a few little birds just up in the sky here. So you use the rigger brush for this, and you just pick a spot and you land the brush, stop, and then take off again. So it's important that you land the brush on the paper. What I mean is that you don't stab it down. You land the brush like a plane landing on a runway. So I'll put another one here like this. So you land the brush and then take off. You get a nice little shape like that. So we'll do one more and then we'll finish with that. So I'm going to go a little bit higher. So again, you land the brush and then take off. So that's our turf cutters. I hope you enjoyed that. See you.